Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It is Sunday morning, the 3rd of November. Sticking with the Delphi trial today, this is the state of Indiana versus Richard Allen. And day 14 has been and gone. This is Sunday and the jury get a day of rest. They get to see the families under supervision of Judge Gull's bailiffs. Yesterday was day 14. It was a half day, just 3 hours, 9 a.m. to midday, but it was an intense day. Very upsetting videos that were shown in the court. These were of Richard Allen in Westville, mainly throughout of April of 2023, when Richard Allen was in psychosis, when the guards and Dr. Waller, his psychologist, thought that he was feigning, thought that he was malingering, just faking mental illness for attention. Well, the jury got to see just a snapshot of what Richard Allen went through. There's not really a lot to report from mainstream media because the public and the media were not allowed to see the videos. So for over 2 hours, the people in the gallery and the media were just looking at the jurors, looking at their reactions, looking at the reactions of the attorneys and the stony-faced Judge Gull. I'm glad that the TV was turned away. That was the request of Brad Rosie. He wanted to, retain what is left of Richard Allen's dignity, and I get that. I'm glad that he did that on one hand. On the other hand, I'd actually have liked, those people in the courtroom to have seen the videos, to report the horror of it, to shut up the people who are saying that he's faking it and that things weren't that bad. Fox 59 did report a little bit. I think some of the reporters could look at Brad Rosie's laptop. The videos were being played from Brad Rosie's laptop onto the big screen, and some of them could catch glimpses. There's a little bit of detail in a Fox 59 report, but I'll just say this, that in one video it looked like he was being dragged. In some scenes he had a black covering over his head. On another scene he was strapped into a wheelchair being taken from one building to another. Presumably couldn't walk. Well, that was another aspect of their control. I don't know. But absolutely horrific. Absolutely 100% horrific. McClelland, prosecutor, seemed exhausted. He seemed to be emotional. Is Nick McClelland, now he's seen this, and these are just the transportation videos from one location within the prison to another, being recorded on a camcorder. Just absolutely insane. This is not the in-cell video stuff. That's going to be played at a later date. But, these jurors became increasingly shocked. Nick McClelland didn't want them shown. Said that it was all very repetitive. Well, yeah, maybe it is, because that was Rick's life. That was day upon day upon day upon day of inhumane treatment. I think the jurors need to see day upon day upon day upon day. So yeah, Nick, it is repetitive. And what I would like Nick to do now, and Judge Gull, is to apologise. Apologise to Brad Rosie and Andrew Baldwin, who called this out in April of last year, the safekeeping order of June last year. Didn't Judge Gull call them liars? Well, okay. Anyway, I want to switch gears now, and I'm going to go back a few days. Talked about the phone data before. Talked about it recently, this particular point here, that the last recorded movement of the phone was 2:32 and some seconds on February 13th, 2017. And it was found under Abby's body. Talked about this in relation to the white van man, but I want to just pick up on this. I haven't seen anyone else do this, but then again, I can't possibly watch all of the channels. Wish TV, in my opinion, didn't do very well at reporting this stuff. This is WTHR, and they've got a little bit more detail, but not much. So this is WTHR. Using the phone's health app, Chris Cecil, phone expert, said he determined the girls walked about 700 metres between 1:31 and 2:08 p.m. on February 13th. The phone stopped moving at 2:32. The Knowledge C database logs things that you don't know are being logged. So this is the timeline. Same timeline as Wish TV reported. So there's some numbers here I want you to remember. Let's just go back a screen. So 700 metres. They walked 700 metres between 1:31 p.m. and 2:08 p.m. I'm going to get the map. We're going to map this in a second. So 700 metres up to 2:08. Thankfully, YouTubers are there to report on this stuff. This is from Loyally. She put together a timeline. I'm just going to play you a couple of minutes here because she's got a little bit more detail in this than was reported in the mainstream media.
Then Libby's phone moved from 2:08 to 2:25 p.m. So it moves 414.38 meters during that range of time. And it could be at the beginning, the end, somewhere in that range of time.
All right, so that's very specific. Listen to that again.
Then Libby's phone moved from 2:08 to 2:25 p.m.
So 2:08 to 2:25, and it was 414 meters.
So it moves 414.38 meters during that range of time.
So 414 meters between 2:08 and 2:25. Keep that number in your head. And then
25 to 2:31 p.m., Libby's phone moves 68 steps and 50 meters.
So then from 2:25 to 2:31, Libby's phone only moves 50 meters, 68 steps. Play that again.
Then from 2:25 to 2:31 p.m., Libby's phone moves 68 steps and 50 meters. 2:31 to 2:32 p.m., Libby's phone registers 2 floors, which the witness explained was roughly 20 feet of vertical distance. And if you went slowly, it would take you longer to get there, but if you went straight up or if you took the stairs, it'd be a lot faster. So roughly 20 feet of vertical distance.
So 20 feet of vertical distance. Now, I did a video about this a few days ago, and I did an experiment with my phone walking up and down hills, and never does my phone register going downhill. I've got an iPhone 12. Libby had an iPhone 6. Never does it register going down. It registers an incline going up. So she climbed 20 feet at 2:31. Let's map all this out now, because this is bizarre. All right, this is bizarre, and I'll show you for why. Here is the Mourning High Bridge Trail, and I've got this set back in time. This is April 2017. This is what it looked like in April 2017. The reason being, you actually see the real end of the bridge. People don't realise just how far the bridge goes into the woods. All right, so from 1:31 to 2:08, we've got about 700 metres. Now, Kelsey dropped them off at 1:48. Kelsey's car's seen on the Hoosier Harvester camera at 1:49. She's just up there. So 1:48. So presumably there's going to be a little bit of steps as the girls were leaving Libby's house. So this is very approximate. But if you measure this and then measure down to the middle of the Mourning High Bridge, where that Snapchat video appears to have been taken at 2:07. And yes, I know there's some controversy about that, but let's ignore that for now. It is about 700 metres. Watch. Now, a metre is 39 inches, so a yard and a quarter. So we're going to measure this all out in metres. So we've got to do this place here. And obviously this is only going to be approximate because they may not have walked in an absolute straight line, and then the path isn't absolutely straight. So we've got 69. So let's call that 70 metres. So 70 metres to there. So we'll put this in our handy dandy calculator. 70, add. And then we want to go from there to approximately, we'll just do halfway across the bridge, up to 2:08. So I don't know why he split it up into these times. I have no idea. Again, you know, the path meanders a little bit, so we can only do it approximately. So we've got, let's do to there. So 576 metres. Now obviously there's it's going to be more. It's going to be close to 600 metres. Let's call it 580. So 650 metres. It's about right, bearing in mind that, you know, the path meanders. Bear in mind they might not have been walking in an absolute straight line. Bear in mind there'll also be some movement on that phone before the girls got to the trail. Because 131 is where this timeline starts. I don't know why it was 131. Because we're being told that the girls were dropped off at 148. So, anyhow, it's not quite 700 metres. But it's understandable where the rest of that space has gone. Alright, then, between 208 and 225, we've got a further 414 metres. Now, I can't work out where on earth this comes from. Let me show you. So we're going to start 208 from halfway along the bridge. And if we zoom right in, you can see the actual end of the bridge in this 2017 footage here. So you can see where the bridge ends, right there. And then there's a path. There's a path. Let's do from halfway along to the end of that. So approximately, let's just do there. Again, this is only approximate. This is all we can do. To the end of the bridge is 120 metres. So we've got 120 metres in the bag already. So that's up to 214. So 414 minus 120. So 414 minus 120. So we've got a further 294 metres to account for to 225. We need to work out how Libby's phone walked 294 metres. So 214, we get guys down the hill, and supposedly at 2:30ish, this is all according to the state's timeline, 2:30ish, Brad Webber drives by, the road goes under the bridge, and that scares him enough to take the girls over the creek, up the other side, and to the crime scene where he kills them. This pin here is the absolute coordinates of the crime scene as stated in the Ron Logan search warrant. My pin for the crime scene is that. So 294 metres to account for. So we've got to go from the end of that bridge to there. End of the bridge to there. 214 guys down the hill. All right. I don't get how you get 294 metres. So you just go in a straight line. It's not very far at all. 163 metres. And it takes into account the fact that it goes down a hill. So 163 metres. Where's 130 metres? We've got to account for an additional 130 metres. So did they go up here? And you're not going to cross there because that's a bank, a high bank. So we've got 191 metres. And then goes back down here. 165 metres. So they're like running around this area. What's happening? According to the state's timeline, we've got a lot of metres to fill here. So they're running all around this area. Did the girls run away? Were running around being chased? If they were, how come no one heard anything? Did the killer take them under the bridge and brought them back? Remember, we've got 294 metres to work on. Over here, and then got disturbed to there, 107 metres. So from there to there, 103 metres, and then, so that'll be 223 metres. But remember then, from 231 to 232, when the phone stops, there's 50 metres. So we've not gone over here yet, because we have to account for the hill climb, the 20-foot hill climb. So where does that fit in? So we don't know where there's 294 metres. To be disturbed by Brad Webber, they have to still be over here at 2:30. Because if they're all the ways over here, this van going by, not going to notice them, and probably Rick Allen ain't going to notice the van. They got to still be over here at 2:30. But yeah, 2:25 to 2:31, the phone only moves 50 metres. How's this all working? So 2:25 to 2:31 is crossing the creek. Okay, let's do crossing the creek, which is 37 metres. So could have gone that way. 52 metres. Yeah. And then up here, how many feet's that? Got to do feet. But yeah, up to here, this is how it's so confusing. Just zoom in a minute. Where was the 20 foot they climbed at 2:31 to 2:32? Just before the phone stopped moving. Where's 20 foot? Where's the 20 foot incline? Right, Gatsby, right near here, because the phone doesn't move again after 2:32. We look at the elevation change, which is in metres. So from the creek, 168 to the crime scene, like if they cross here, if they cross up here, the elevation change is massive. But then this is all the ways over here. This is 170, 171. How are you climbing 20 feet? How are you climbing 20 feet? I don't understand. I don't understand. I do not understand. The state's timeline doesn't make sense in relation to the state's own analysis of the phone data. So something else had to have happened. Something else had to have happened. I'll come back to this when I've had another think about it, and I'll take into account what some of you guys say. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm so confused.